Video game properties as casino slot machines are a new thing, but one we can expect more of. Drop me a line down below, but first, my opinion. I'm Tarmack, and this is Feature Creep. There are a hell of a lot of gamers pissed off at Konami right now, and for the last few months. The whole story being about the scrubbing of Hideo Kojima from everything, cancellation of Silent Hills, and subsequent realization that they were building a Silent Hill slot machine. You'll hear slot machine and pachinko machine as terms used, but they're essentially interchangeable for my purposes here. Patchy slots are kind of a mix between pinball and regular slot machines. And I think largely, people aren't really upset that a Silent Hill slot machine exists, but rather because they feel cheated out of what was shaping up to be an amazing game if PT was any indication. With PT being erased and Silent Hill scrapped, gamers are understandably upset. We're going to be seeing a lot more games like this as the gambling and video game industries had a major change occur in the state of Nevada back in May. Konami was one of many slot manufacturers who petitioned for the ability to create skill-based slot machines, and part of the reason they did it is to entice gamers into casinos. The thing about gamers is that by and large we're not huge fans of games like Dear Esther. Titles that don't let us influence the outcome simply don't do as well as ones that do. Casinos everywhere began switching from your basic 3 real cherries and 7 slot machines to ones with much more impressive visual presentations in order to entice the younger crowd who crave graphics and animation. The problem is that it wasn't enough. Gambling revenues are down, and this will be in part due to the mistaken assumption that gamers would just flock into casinos if the graphics were pretty. What does a skill-based slot machine look like? Well, they can't just let you win all the time simply because you're good at it. That would be like letting good card counters keep playing blackjack. These are games with a minor skill element and a threshold of low versus high payout that will let you win a bit more than somebody who's terrible, but still not enough to break into positive odds. Now, I know that you don't come here for casino discussion, but I think that it's somewhat valuable to be aware of so as to avoid surprise as more of this begins to happen. There are at least 8 titles that I'm aware of right now that are already gambling games or are making the transition from video game to slot machine, with some of the skill-based ones and some others less so. We've got Centipede, Castlevania, Neo Contra, Silent Hills, Zuma, Bejeweled, Plants vs. Zombies, and Crazy Taxi. I was at a convention in Vegas last year for an unrelated business reason where I saw a few of these, and I got to ask some questions about them. This is a trend that is going to continue as Vegas and other gambling meccas attempt to compete with the delusion of online gambling options that are out there. The average gambler age runs pretty close to the average gamer age, and a little false interactivity goes a long way, as games like The Simpsons Tapped Out has proven. The part that hasn't really happened in a big way yet is licensing of current-day major properties. There aren't any Warcraft, Tomb Raider, Team Fortress, or Assassin's Creed gambling machines. All of the Konami intellectual property is owned in-house, and the licensed stuff is all web app-style games or retro arcade titles. Make no mistake though, it's coming. Everyone's looking at Konami right now, but it's EA that owns Bejeweled, Zuma, and Plants vs. Zombies. These are the 2 powerhouse video game publishers that are in the market right now, with Atari bringing up a poor showing in the rear just like they always do. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Battlefield or Sim slot within the next 5 years. The thing is it worth being upset over? I understand that gamers feel betrayed by Konami over the Silent Hills cancellation, but maybe the problem isn't just Konami. Betrayal requires trust. Maybe part of the problem is gamers getting too hyped and trusting the company too much. Pre-order culture, pre-release hype, all of that stuff. I don't think that it's fair to blame gamers per se, but I think we could do with a significant decrease in trust and increase in skepticism. It would do the industry a lot of good. What do you think about the video game industry branching out into other markets? Let's chat about it. Feature Creep is a regular show, so sub up if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out.